this is the one time I really suggest not to do what the maintenance recommends for your vehicle. If you have over 100,000 miles on your car and the transmission fluid has never been changed or flushed, do not flush it. Don't flush it, because what you're going to do is you're going to break a lot of the debris up in the transmission. It's going to clog some ports and passageways in there, and your transmission is going to go broke. This happened to me with the Toyota Avalon. It was a 99, had about 200,000 miles on it, and we bought it from a family friend who said he just had the transmission flushed. We bought it, literally 1,000 miles later, the transmission went out. You know, and that's just one example, but I mean, there's other people on the internet, and I've known in person, that have had a similar issue. You know, you get this transmission flush, and then it all of a sudden seems like the transmission just goes downhill right after that. So what do you do when the transmission fluid needs to get changed, but you know, it really should do a flush? Something that I've developed and I've started doing ever since, you know, I bought my Lexus GS400 was I'll drain the transmission pan, which is about 3 quarts. So you're changing out 3 quarts at a time. And since I'm kind of caught up with it, I'll do it maybe every other oil change, which is about 10,000 miles, right? So every 10,000 miles, I'll drain 3 quarts out of the transmission and put 3 new quarts of transmission fluid in. That way the transmission fluid never really gets dirty. I mean, you're always replacing some of the old fluid and get rid of some of the newer fluid too. It's not perfect, but it's a method I've done with high mileage cars that seems to have a really good effect in the longevity of the transmission. So I'm just going to bring you along to swap out 3 quarts of my Lexus. It's been probably about 15 or 20,000 miles since I've done this last. I've kind of forgotten about it and neglected it, but we'll see how the transmission fluid looks. Hopefully it's not too dirty. So here we go. Transmission bolt on my GS is way in the back, almost mid-car. It's a 14 millimeter, so I'm going to crack that, let it drain for about 5-10 minutes, put the bolt back in, and then fill it up from the engine bay. All right, so we got the bolt. All right, so we got the bolt just about loosened. Let's crack it and let it go in the drain. Well, I dropped the bolt in there, but yeah, the fluid looks really red, so it doesn't look like it's that dirty. Like I said, it's more of a preventative maintenance kind of thing. So we'll let this drain for about 5 minutes and see where we end up. All right, so I let it drain for about 10 minutes, and I fished out the drain plug from the bucket that I dropped. So I'm just gonna put this back in. There we go. Tighten it up, and then we'll fill it up with trans fluid. But looking at it, looks like we got about 2.5 quarts out of the transmission, so that's what we're going to put back in. Fluid doesn't look terrible. It does have still a red tint to it, but you know, it's cheap enough that, you know, just do it to keep it peace of mind. So let's fill it back up. All right, so I'm pulling out my trans dipstick right here. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and put 2.5 quarts into the trans. There we go. All right, I got a 6-pack off of Amazon. I think it was like 40 bucks or something like that. I don't know, I'll put the link in the description. This one bottle I've actually had for a while, so I'm gonna use the old bottle. And I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 quarts in right away, just because we know that we took at least 2.5 out. So basically, when I get to open up the 3rd quart, I'll probably only put about half in, and then we'll check the level there. You can't really dump it in that quick though. It burbles out if you go too quick, so slow and steady. All right, so I got half the quart of the 3rd one in there, so I'll put the dipstick in and check the level. There we go. Like that? Making a YouTube video. Timmy talks. All right, so we're gonna start it up and actuate it through reverse and drive. So we go and put it in reverse for a couple seconds. We go to neutral, go to drive, and I feel the car squatting down. Let's do it a couple more times. Neutral, reverse, neutral, drive, and that should be it.